Alright, you lovely people, welcome to the channel. We got some Jennifer Lopez news here. I got into this in last couple of days, so I thought let's make a recap. Probably most of you already know of the past week and all mumbo jumbo. Here we have Megyn Kelly saying that she's failing. Probably she said that on her podcast. So Lopez and Affleck 51 have been plagued with rumors of martial strife over the past several weeks, potentially bringing to an end one of Hollywood's most talked about romance. With neither of the stars have publicly confirmed the speculation surrounding the state of their union, former Fox News host Kelly waded in with scathing takes on her own as she suggested that Lopez was directing the public narrative. On Wednesday's installment of her podcast, Kelly discussed images that recently emerged of Lopez appearing to take photos focused on her famous posterior as she spent time on a yacht in Italy without Affleck. She actually spent time in the south of Italy also. I've seen her myself in 2018. Actually, I have some clips in a blog when she was married to the baseball player, I think 2018, in Nerano, in basically the Amalfi Coast. So I think and she was seen also in Positano, another location close by there. And of course it's the Italian, holiday, glamorous Italian holiday, and she went alone. I don't see much of a problem, honestly. Ben Affleck to me seems like a little bit more down to earth type of guy, even though he's a megastar himself. But Jennifer Lopez comes across much more that she cares about the glam, the whole image surrounding, which is probably she thrives on, whatever. I'm kind of curious because I start to sense a little bit like narcissistic behavior. So I'm just curious a little bit because it's a kind of an odd couple, right? They were together like 20 plus years ago or 25 years ago. Then they split and then they remarry after they both divorced. I think she divorced 3 times. Anyway, long story short here, it's interesting what she's saying. Megyn Kelly about that she thinks that she's failing Jennifer Lopez because her new album debuting at number 38 on the Billboard, which failed the top 20 for the first time in her career. She also had to sort of postpone her tour for, I actually don't know particularly the reasons. Further criticizing Lopez, Kelly said on her show, she's failing in all professional lanes. The only weird way she's not failing is she got a huge social media following, so she's reinventing herself as a Kardashian. Well, in a way it would make sense if you are like a pathological narcissist because you need to thrive on that type of energy. And the rumors surrounding a couple, it's always sketchy because you don't know. I don't think gossips make it any better because you don't know how a couple they're going to react to this type of pressure from the outside and scrutiny and curiosity and obsession. So I suppose that can have an effect, especially if the couple is not very strong and mature within themselves, can definitely cause some harm. That's her flying from Napoli, where I come from, to Paris, and this also has been debunked, man. So I tell you this, Naples is a smaller airport, right? So there's not a ton of flights going out. Most likely she had to go to the Paris fashion show on a schedule, so she booked the first flight out that she could find. And I tell you another thing that probably Americans don't do here in Europe, but usually airliners, they have smaller planes because the routes are smaller in between European cities and also much closer together. Basically from Naples to Paris probably is 2 hours, 15 minutes, 2 hours. So an hour and a half, 2 hours and a half, you go anywhere mostly. And there is not business class the way Americans, bigger seats, just 2 rows. Usually business class in those planes are the first rows of the plane, which look like a little bit like the rest of the plane. Maybe the seats are a little bit better padded, just a little bit more comfy, but they still come in a row of 3. And most likely what they do is that when you buy a business class, basically the seat in the middle is blocked so that you might have just actually one passenger next to you. So that's business class. That's it. You can check this out. We don't have in shorter trips the luxury of stretching down or whatever. And so therefore she just took a plane like any other human being, business class in Europe, and she went where she had to go. That's all. And I'm pretty sure again it's been debunked. We got also fresh news here that after this whole trip And after Italy and France, they seem to have been spotted, both of them together, even though there's no pictures of them together, because I just read this and said the actor and singer-songwriter both hit the Beverly's office Wednesday, with Ben arriving in a chic suit around 10 a.m. and J-Lo pulling up a couple hours later. So check out the pics, looking dapper and pretty dang serious when arriving, while his wife had her big movie star glasses on when her driver took her away a few hours later. So yeah, I mean, this is the conclusion of the whole thing so far. I think I've seen also somewhere like the guy driving with the wedding band on, because several days he was seen without. So there you have it, new news. What do you think? Do you smell a little bit of narcissist going on? We also learned from Johnny Depp trial that you can basically tip the paparazzi. You can have all PR doing this whole thing, because drama and gossip, they fuel the career of a pop star, of a megastar. So I have the sense that some of this stuff, it's kind of planted for the sake of getting that momentum in the summer to stay relevant. Otherwise, maybe you don't get enough clicks or checks on your Instagram or whatnot. So I don't think it's out of the questions, honestly, that this whole charade, it's probably created in purpose and there is not much going on. But then, yeah, that will fuel a little bit more the, let's say, the narcissistic aspect, which I wouldn't be completely surprised, considering that both of them, they've been married and divorced. I think she's divorced already 3 times. So I wouldn't be surprised if this wedding ends soon in a divorce as well. But I might be wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe. Let me know if you like this type of videos. And I'll talk to you next time. Ciao.